Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new Elder Scrolls Online video with me, Sherman. Today's the day, guys. We got the announcement. I already posted that, but I want to give my thoughts on this as well and let you guys know how I feel about this stuff that's coming with Elsweyr and the next dungeon DLC, which we don't have much information on. They haven't posted anything on it yet on the website, but Elsweyr is up and you can pre-purchase it now. There's some really cool stuff that you can get with the pre-purchase, and I think the price point is really good. And if you're new to ESO and you're new to my channel, welcome. But you can also pre-purchase this or purchase this, and it will come with Somerset, Morrowind, base game, and Elsweyr if you buy the game new. So you can get everything with that. You just won't get the DLCs, the other DLCs that are with the game, but you will get Somerset, Morrowind, and Elsweyr, along with what comes with those. I don't know if you'll get the Warden class though, so. But still, really cool purchase deals, really cool stuff. Now, the other thing I want to mention is I will be talking about some other stuff that was mentioned in the post-show. This is the show that came afterwards that I didn't record, and that's because it came like 20 minutes afterwards, and I didn't want to like pause, wait, record, and then release that too. I wanted to kind of do a different thing here, but I do want to talk about the stuff they talked about in the post-show too. So let's go ahead and go over what Elsweyr is. Dragons return to Tamriel in Elder Scrolls Online Elsweyr, part of the Season of the Dragon year-long adventure. Explore sun-blessed savannas and canyons, defend the Khajiit homeland, and command the merciless undead with the Necromancer class in the all-new chapter the Elder Scrolls Online Saga. So, Elsweyr is part of a 4-part story that is going to expand over the whole year. So the first DLC we're getting this year is a dungeon DLC. I don't remember what it's called, the Wraithstone. And it's 2 different dungeons with 2 different themes to them. So one's a Dwemer dungeon, one's an Iliad dungeon. They both have their different themes and things to them. And they both are about gathering the tablet pieces necessary to do the next quest, which is part of this dungeon DLC. And it's a quest where you go and open the doorway that lets the dragons out. So yeah, we're at fault there. And they did talk about this in the pre-show and post-show, that this was going to be the story. And I think that idea, like, I wasn't excited about how they could incorporate a dungeon DLC into a story, but now that I've heard it, I'm really so super excited for this. Like, I've never been excited for dungeons, guys, really, and now I am, because now there's a purpose to it. Like before in the base game, a lot of the story dungeons, or the dungeons, had stories that pertained to what was going on with that region that you were in. So it kind of told an extra story to things like City of Ash 2, all that kind of stuff. You know, Bandage Cells, they all pertain to the base story. But the later DLC dungeons didn't really have anything to pertain to any separate stories. They were their own stories. And I liked them, but I didn't feel like they fit into the game. And I feel like the way they're doing this is really going to fit into the game, so I like this idea of dungeon DLCs. So super excited for that. Also with the dungeon DLCs, they did say we're getting 2 features with the first dungeon DLC. One is a quest tracker thing, or like quest thing, that tells you, well, it's not really a quest thing, it's like a map thing for the zone. Like when you go into it and you open up the map, it'll show you on the other side of the screen, like one side of the screen, and it'll show you like the things you haven't accomplished in the zone. So it'll show you like the delves, the bosses, all that kind of stuff. I think that's a really cool concept. And then the other one is one we've all been asking for, a guild trader search function. But it only, I'm guessing it only works at individual traders, but it allows you to search for very specific items. So really awesome, really helpful tool. I can't wait for that. That's going to be super cool. So let's go on down and take a look at this. So as you can see, we're getting 4 DLC, or 4 things this year. We're getting a dungeon DLC, the Wraithstone. We're getting Elsweyr, the chapter. We're getting another dungeon DLC in Q3, and we're getting a story DLC, which is like Murkmire, or not Orsinium, like Murkmire and Clockwork City, here, and this is going to end the story of the Season of the Dragon. So this is one continuous plot line throughout the whole year. So really excited to see how they do this. Next up, Necromancer class is coming, guys. One of the things they did mention about the Necromancer, which I'm going to tell you now, is it will have repercussions. So if you play a Necromancer, there will be repercussions. If you're in town, you use the magic, that you can get attacked by guards. When I heard that, I was like, what? Like, you want to punish us for playing Necromancers? Okay. Like, give it to me. I want it. That was really cool. I thought that was like, the concept of the Necromancer class, I was really, like, leery about how they would do it. But as soon as they mentioned that justice thing, I was like, okay, this makes sense now. They're not well liked. So, and it even says here, when playing a Necromancer, you must be carefully position yourself and your abilities for maximum effect, giving you the new class, blah, blah, blah. But it does say that they did say that there is repercussions, that you can get arrested and get attacked by guards. And, well, not arrested, you can get attacked by guards. So the Necromancer is going to have 3 skill lines, we know this. One's a tank line, one's a healer line, and one is a DPS line. They gave us kind of a general idea of the skill lines and their names. There was like the Bone something or other, the Elementalist, and Reaping something were the names. But they all did different stuff, and when I read about it, like when I saw what they were showing and I listened to them, I was like, wow, this is really cool. I like this idea. Like, I really like this idea. This is not mind-blowingly crazy, but it's just too cool. And I like that they followed the theme of the Warden. No offense. So, Necromancer, really cool. I'm going to have a link to this also in the description, so you guys can go and check this out for yourselves. But yeah, I'm super stoked for the Necromancer. Next, dragons. Holy cow. So, dragons are going to be the new feared enemy that we're going to be fighting. And they did say that the new trial, the Sunspire, I think it's called the Sunspire, is going to be the new trial, and the trial is going to pertain to dragons. But the coolest thing about the new trial is that it's going to have hard modes for each of the bosses. And they did ramp up the difficulty of the mobs so that they feel more challenging. So you will have this challenging mobs, hard mode bosses that you can set to hard mode. You'll have to set them, but each boss will have a hard mode, which means greater reward for the more challenging, difficult content. Again, I'm not going to say good concept, bad concept. That's a fantastic idea. And it's a long trial, guys. This is like Mav Lorkosh type trial. So, for all of you out there that are trial players, you guys get your dream. Got the trial you wanted, and I'm really stoked that they're doing that for you guys. Now, moving on. This is really cool. You guys, check this out. You can look around. Look, there's a dragon. That thing is wicked looking. And they have really cool tools that they use for the dragons, to where they can actually build different types of dragons with their tool set, and all they have to do is interchange things, which I thought was pretty neat. Alright, moving on down. This is where it's going to be Elsweyr. Look how big, guys, this section is. I mean, I wish I could zoom in on this so you guys could see it, but this is where we're going to. And the capital there is going to be Rimmon. And Rimmon is actually like up over here. So Rimmon's going to be in the deep desert area, or the savanna area, one of the two. And then there's going to be there's 3 different biomes. So there's the desert area, the savanna, and the jungle. So, and by looking at the size of this map, that's a pretty big chunk of content we're getting. And when they showed it in the live stream, they showed that 3-dimensional topographical map. I was just like, what? Like, that's massive. That's like Craglorn, or bigger. I mean, if you compare it to this area here, it's like all 3 of these in one. You know, it's a massive area. So I'm just super excited for that. All right, so we're gonna go on down here. This is prepare for adventure, face the new trial. Dragons have overrun an ancient temple of Alkosh and claimed it as their own. You and your 12-player team must enter Sunspire, explore the temple, and put a stop to the new inhabitants. Exclusive gear and collectibles await those brave enough to stand against. I can't pronounce it. It's too hard. It's a dragon name. But yeah, so you're going to be facing a dragon. Now, I do want to say this. The dungeon DLC that's coming will have 6 new sets. It'll have 2 light, 2 medium, 2 heavy, plus 2 monster sets. This Elsweyr will have 3 craftable sets, 3 base land sets, overland sets, 3 of them, light, medium, and heavy, and whatever they're adding with the trial. So if it's trial sets and not weapon sets, we will get 3 or 4 trial sets. So we'll get 2 light, 1 medium, 1 heavy. So super awesome. But let's go on. Defend Elsweyr. You can find adventure almost or around almost every corner of Elsweyr as you venture into the majestic new zone, including challenging world bosses, immersive dwells, and huge public dungeons. Whatever you play, solo or as a group, Elsweyr is filled with countless danger and challenges. Oh my god. Let's just go ahead and take a look at that. That's a dragon in the overland, guys. I can't wait. It's gonna be so cool. Explore a fascinating world, venture into the heart of the Khajiit homeland to discover the first-hand a people and culture unlike anything else in Tamriel through interesting standalone quests and exploration of a vibrant living world. Experience in a fascinating land filled with colorful characters and stories as you uncover what really makes the Khajiit so unique. So, really cool. And it goes on to talk about other things. But I do want to talk about some more post-show stuff and pre-show stuff. So, one, characters that are coming back, which is super awesome. Roz will have a comeback. He is going to be in a quest line, not pertaining to the main story. They already said that he's not part of the main story. He's going to be in Elsweyr. We're going to deal with him. But our main people we're going to be dealing with is Abner Tharn, a new Khajiit character, I don't remember her name, and then Cadwell. They mentioned those 3 are going to be returning characters. That is awesome. Another thing they did mention is some PvP stuff. Cyrodiil basically is getting some really big changes with Elsweyr. One thing that they're going to be changing is ICP, or Imperial City Prison, is no longer going to be part of the campaign, base campaign map. It is going to be its own separate campaign, which should alleviate some of the issues with the PvP campaign, they said, but they're not sure how much, like lag and things like that. So they said it will separate. They're going to separate the two, so they're individual. That's kind of cool. I'm glad. They did say they are going to be doing a lot throughout the year. Through the next 8 months, they're going to be doing performance adjustments to Cyrodiil and the rest of the game world to make things not as laggy, not as problematic for people with the game. So that's something that is coming. And then the other thing they're doing with PvP is they're adding a artifact weapon. I don't remember, but it's a 2-handed hammer, and apparently it's going to be like God mode. So you got the Emperor and you got God mode weapon. And they were asked in the post live stream, if you got the hold of the God weapon, would it make you more powerful if it's the Emperor? And Rich kind of made a comment of like, well, you'll have to find out. So I'm guessing yes. And that's going to be scary. So really cool stuff coming for PvPer. Now, in the first dungeon DLC, PvPers are also getting an extra battleground, which is supposed to be something really unique, where things phase in and out of time. So that sounds really intriguing and really interesting. I'd like to try it and see how it is. But that's about all the information they gave on this. And I wasn't sure if it phased in and out of time. I was still like trying to take in everything else. So really awesome. Another thing, one last thing that I want to talk about before I get into the rest of it. You guys know every update we get CP bump of 30 points. Well, they said this, and they were very adamant and clear about this. We are not getting that anymore for right now. This is being put on hold, the increase of CP. They're going to review CP system, look at it, take a hard look at it, and see what if they can improve it, or if there's something that what they can do with it. But for now, 810 is the max CP anyone can get. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to tell you if I'm excited or how I feel about it until build time comes in 1 week. Which brings me to the next part. We are getting PTS Monday for this. So the 21st is going to be PTS drop for the Dungeon DLC Wraithstone. We will have patch notes. We will know about the racial passive changes. We'll know more on the racial passive changes coming with this week. They're going to post something on the forums, but it's not going to be like everything. We're going to find out more when the PTS goes live. We're also going to find out more about what's coming with what the Wraithstone DLC changes are with that. And we're going to find out a lot more of this stuff, guys, when the patch notes hit on Monday. So watch. Keep an eye on my channel, or whoever's channel you might watch that posts patch notes. I will have a patch notes video giving my thoughts and opinions on it, like I always do, that day. So, sorry to say it, but I am super stoked for this whole year. Not because of just dragons, not because of Necromancer, not because of just Elsweyr. It's because they're doing a continuous story throughout the year. I always wanted this game to have that, to have this, like, where everything was linked together that came out throughout the year. I thought that would be such a cool idea. Now that they're doing it, we're going to finally get to experience that and see how it really plays out. And I hate to say it, again, I'm super stoked for this. I think this is, like, one of the best ideas they've come up with. But, is that all? Yes, that is all. Yeah, that is all. But it's interesting, like I said, to see what the devs have decided to do with this game. You know, we've waited for since December when Matt Furr put out the letter saying, you know, we're super excited for next year. We can't wait to tell you guys about it. And I understand why now. This is. Everything that they mentioned sounds amazing and fantastic. It's just incredible that we're getting more to the game. We're getting some great additions with not only story, but the whole concept behind all of this is just really, really cool. Like the dungeons, the delves, the public dungeons, the lore. It's got something for everybody. And the devs did say this. They worked alongside Bethesda. Even though that's like their sister company. But they worked alongside them on the lore to make sure that none of this stuff was lore breaking or game breaking. So all this stuff they're doing to the game, that they're adding to the game, is not lore breaking. This is actually part of the game's lore. Like, there's dragons in the world, guys. There isn't just the ones in Skyrim. There were dragons all over Tamriel, all over Nirn. And yeah, a lot of them got wiped out during the Dragon Wars, but there's still some alive, and we're going to deal with them. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. I'm really interested to see where this goes, and I'm really excited to see where this year goes and how things turn out. We will find out more at E3, which will come around the same time that the chapter comes out, which is June 4th. So Elsweyr is coming out June 4th, and I do want to do this so you guys can see now. If this is coming out June 4th, so we're gonna go to April, May, June 4th, right here. This is when they say the chapter's coming. Count back 5 weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So sometime in April we will be getting PTS for the chapter. If not, a little bit sooner than the 30th, I'm going to guess like the 29th or 22nd, we should get PTS for Elsweyr. Well, actually, even sooner than that, because usually the PC version, well, that's about right, yeah. So it'll be around that time. Somewhere around that time, I mean, sometime in April or May, we'll get PTS for Elsweyr. We'll be able to test a lot of this stuff, see what the Necromancer class is like, what it's going to pertain to it, all that stuff. So, yeah, just I can't contain my excitement, really, because I am excited about Elsweyr. It's probably one of the most anticipated zones for me as a player, because even though I'm not a big player of Khajiits, I am a big fan of their lore and their history. I just love how it all deals with the moons and the two gods, you know, Joan and Jude, and how that pertains to the race and all that. And I love this right here. This is by far my favorite thing. The fact that they put the Breton hero in the story, in the trailer, and the Breton hero is a representation of us as the character. So, yeah. Awesome. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video, guys. I hope you guys liked it. I hope I gave you guys some more information and some greater understanding on this stuff. Sorry I kind of like rushed this, but I really wanted to get this video done and out so that tomorrow I can focus on other things, and for tomorrow and the rest of the week, coming up to Monday's release of the patch, the PTS stuff. So yeah, super excited. But yeah, just want to thank you all for watching. So if you guys enjoyed the video, like button if you guys want to see more videos by me. Subscribe. Other than that, thanks for watching. Until next time, have a wonderful day. And this guy might see you in game. Bye.